Today's topic is going to be an animation challenge. And this is a challenge that is based off of a bunch of questions that I got asked during this last week. Um, and essentially, what we're going to be trying to do here is we're going to be trying to animate all of the class 1 assignments from Animation Mentor all in a row. Now, why are we doing that? Well, there's a few different reasons. Like I said, it's based on a bunch of different questions. The first question, kind of the one that led to the fact or the idea of this challenge, is I was asked, how do you become faster as an animator? How, as an animator, do we get to work quickly, efficiently, and get shots done on a tight time frame? And the simple answer to that is you take it slow. Weirdly enough, if you try to rush yourself, if you try to rush through a shot and just like get everything done as fast as possible, more often than not, what ends up happening is you're going to make mistakes. You're going to forget something. You're not going to put something in the right place. And you're going to have to fix that later. And what all of those do is it adds time. Every mistake you do adds more time. Every indecision that you have adds more time. So the way you become faster is that you want to understand what you are doing. Now, how does this tie into the thing that we're going to be doing today? Well, we're going to be doing all of these assignments in a row, compared to taking all of these assignments and taking 3 months to do them. So in Animation Mentor, the term is 3 months. You have weeks to complete all of these assignments. So for example, the bouncing ball assignment, you have 1 week to animate the bouncing ball, and then another week to revise the bouncing ball. And there's the heavy and light ball, and there's the pendulum, and there's the Taylor assignment, and the vanilla walk, and the personality walk. All of those, when you are first learning animation, it's going to take you 3 months to learn, and you're going to struggle typically. If you're totally new to animation, you're going to struggle for those first 3 months. I know I did quite a bit. And after all of that time, after learning these principles and understanding them, I want to show that I have increased in speed. I can do all of those assignments that it took me 3 months to do, and we can probably do it in one sitting. At least I'm going to try. So again, where does that come from? It doesn't come from rushing. I'm not going to be rushing through these assignments, just trying to speed through, skipping things where I can, cut corners. No. All it comes from is understanding what I'm doing now. Versus before, when I was learning, I didn't understand what the heck I was doing at any point. So there's that element there. The second element was I was asked a question about essentially a student was struggling with the advanced classes, and they were wondering how they could improve their work. And when I looked at their shot, a lot of the things that they were struggling with weren't the advanced topics. The advanced topics were actually something that they had a pretty decent handle on overall. The things that they were struggling with were the basics, were the simple principles. And this might seem kind of backwards, but honestly, it's very common. Where as you go through your animation journey, you're learning so much stuff. You're just cramming stuff into your brain all the time. There's so much to learn in animation. And the tricky thing with that is that the further you go along, the easier it is to forget or skip or just like not really pay attention to those core fundamentals, the bouncing ball principle, the overlap principle, the timing and spacing, like those simple things that you learn in class 1, the basic bouncing ball, and you skip it. And then in your later work, you're trying to do these complex things without just breaking it down to its simplest form and making it a lot easier to understand. So as we're going through this, I'm going to try and explain a few different things on that as we go along. And then the last question that I had here was about workflow. And what is the best workflow to use when you're animating? And the quick answer to that is there is no good, perfect workflow. You use the workflow that is best for the moment. And the best thing that you can do as an animator is learn a ton of different workflows so that you can mix and match whatever you need at the time. So different workflows are pose to pose, straight ahead animation, so pose to pose is where you go one pose, another pose, and then you fill in the gap in between. Straight ahead animation, where you just start from the beginning and just animate forward. You have layered animation, where you might animate one part. So you might animate the body, then you animate the arm, then you animate the hand on top of that. So you're layering in the animation. There's copying animation, where you can take animation from one part of the body, put it onto another, and easily animate a second part of the body with very little effort. There's all of these different workflows and combining them in different ways. So as we're going through these assignments, I want to showcase how, as I'm going through them, I'm not just using one workflow across all of these admittedly basic assignments. I'm mixing and matching a bunch of different ones. I'll try to call them out as I go along. But even on these simple assignments, there's a bunch of different workflows I'm going to be using. Now imagine just adding more to that, adding a whole character, adding a whole scene, adding multiple characters, adding a dinosaur in there. As you add that complexity, that means that your workflow is going to become more complex as well. The things that you're going to tweak and change and the way you're going to approach it is going to be different depending on what you're animating. So those are the three things that I wanted to cover here today. And it's going to be kind of, what would be the right word? Loosey-goosey. I guess that's the first term that came to mind here. In terms of, I haven't prepped any of this. I haven't set this up or made a curriculum of this in any way. This is literally me just going, hey, let's do this. I came up with this idea yesterday, I think it was, or 2 days ago. Time is weird. And I haven't had time to prep for it, and we're just jumping in. So we're going to see what we get. But hopefully it'll be interesting. And once again, I know a lot of this is going to be basic. A lot of you here are way past this point in terms of what you're animating. But hopefully it'll still be helpful to get a reminder of what these principles are and what we're looking for in these principles.